Actually, I'm gonna go right into it in the sense that when I saw this film, your scenes with Matt were my favorites, only because it has these two it's almost extreme like moments. You have one that's super intimate and almost sexual, and then the other one which is a complete different experience. So to kind of come in and just do those sequences in itself were, I don't know, as an actor I would feel that would be kind of like it's like, yay, I get to, to have these extreme like moments in a film like this.
Yeah, it's, I mean, when I read the script, that was clearly how it was written, and I was so struck with how complete her journey was. I mean, not complete in the sense that like everything is tied up, perfectly, but you get to meet her when she's in one place and then kind of go through this experience in a very, very short period of time, and then at the end of her journey, you're just like, it's a completely different thing than you would have ever imagined in the beginning. And I think that's, that was a really fun thing to play for me.
To work with Clint, I was talking to Matt about this just now, in the sense that he gives you guys so much freedom to try different things. And so when you go on set like that, did you work a lot with Matt and kind of get the rhythm down, or was it one of those things where you're still trying things out, like when the cameras are rolling?
Yeah, we didn't rehearse. At all, actually, I realized. And I met Clint for the first time 5 minutes before I started shooting, which is certainly unusual. And but it was great. We didn't even talk about the movie or the characters. It was just, I mean, he was very warm and lovely. And then we just went and shot this scene really without much rehearsal at all, just kind of, figuring out where we were going to stand. And it's great because you're kind of like discovering the moments as you're actually literally discovering the moments.
Is that weird for you? I mean, actors, I'm assuming, and you can correct me, probably like direction, or do you feel like you like this almost independent study kind of approach to
both? I mean, well, this is kind of extraordinary because you know that you're being watched. You know that you're being protected by a truly masterful talent. So you feel relieved in that sense, because if he wasn't happy, he wouldn't move on. And yet he wants to really give you the opportunity to do whatever you want to do, and that sort of trust is, I mean, it's a wonderful feeling. It's that feeling of responsibility, but also that feeling of that, this person trusts me to really have just a complete perspective on the character.
I have to ask, and I'm sure other people have been asking you too, do you have a relationship with death, or in the sense that, did you tap into certain things about personal experiences or from what other people have told you in the past about what that kind of loneliness or that kind of space that you kind of exist in when somebody close to you goes?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've all experienced loss for sure, but I think something that's very particular to the character that I play is that there's a deeply unresolved pain from her past that comes up, quite shockingly, and I think it's, my personal view is that it's a gift for her in many ways, because it's, now she's had the opportunity to face it and confront it, and although it is, I imagine, going to be quite painful, I think it's an important thing for her to feel. In terms of just like my beliefs or all of that, I mean, I happen to believe in an afterlife for myself. It just gives me peace of mind, but I don't really know what it is. I don't presume to say like, oh, well, it's exactly this. And therefore, I loved this film because it did ask the question, is there an afterlife? And then you're kind of thrust into these three storylines where people are dealing with, death or being confronted by death in a really powerful way, and in very different ways. And they kind of ask those questions of themselves. So you can go with it, because it's not necessarily like the movie saying, oh, this is what it is. It's like these three people kind of experiencing these things which lead them to believe certain things about the afterlife, which ultimately, of course, says that it's the connections that we make here on Earth that are the things that are really everlasting, which makes it kind of a love story, I guess.